Before the world knew him as Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was just a boy growing up in a world of cinema. Born in Manhattan in 1965 to filmmaker Robert Downey Sr., raised in a household filled with creativity, rebellion, and chaos. His childhood was far from ordinary. By age 5, he was already acting. His first role was in his father's film Pound. At 8, he was experimenting with drugs, introduced to marijuana by his own father. That's not a childhood most would envy. But it was Robert's reality. He was a prodigy, charming, witty, fearless. By the 1980s, Hollywood came calling. He starred in teen comedies and became part of the famous Brat Pack. Movies like Weird Science and Less Than Zero made him a rising star. But that last role was a mirror of his life. In Less Than Zero, he played a young man addicted to drugs. The role was raw, painful, and personal. Behind the scenes, Robert was already struggling with addiction. And what started as experimentation became dependency. Despite his talent, the signs of trouble were there. But Hollywood loves a star. In the 90s, Downey delivered legendary performances. He earned an Oscar nomination for playing Charlie Chaplin in 1992. It seemed like nothing could stop him. But addiction doesn't care about talent. It doesn't care about awards. Between 1996 and 2001, Downey was arrested multiple times. Cocaine, heroin, marijuana. He missed court-ordered drug tests. He was found wandering in the streets. He broke into a neighbor's house and slept in their bed. He served time in prison, not once, but multiple times. Each time he got out, he promised change. Each time, he relapsed. Producers stopped hiring him. Studios considered him uninsurable. He was fired from the hit TV show Ally McBeal. Tabloids mocked him. Friends distanced themselves. He hit rock bottom, personally and professionally. Robert once said, "It's like I had a loaded gun in my mouth and I liked the taste of metal." That was the depth of his struggle. But here's where the story turns. In 2003, something shifted. He met Susan Levin, a film producer. She gave him an ultimatum: get clean, or we're done. Robert chose love. He chose life. He went through therapy. He practiced martial arts and meditation. He embraced sobriety, for real this time. It wasn't easy. But he was done letting addiction define him. Then came The Singing Detective, his first major film comeback. But Hollywood was still wary. That's when Mel Gibson stepped in. He paid Downey's insurance bond for the film. A friend giving a fallen man a second chance. Robert started climbing back, one role at a time. And then, Marvel came knocking. In 2006, Marvel was preparing to launch its cinematic universe. They needed someone to play Tony Stark. A billionaire playboy, brilliant, broken, and sarcastic. Jon Favreau, the director, wanted Downey. He believed Robert was Tony Stark. But Marvel was hesitant. Hiring him was a massive risk. They eventually said yes. And that decision changed everything. Iron Man released in 2008. It was a smash hit, earning over $580 million worldwide. More importantly, it launched the MCU. And made Downey a global superstar. Overnight, Robert Downey Jr. became a symbol of redemption. He wasn't just playing Iron Man, he was Iron Man. Witty, charismatic, flawed. And ultimately, redeemed. But he didn't stop there. He reprised his role in Iron Man 2, The Avengers, and several other MCU hits. Each performance deeper, more layered than the last. He also starred in Sherlock Holmes, another blockbuster hit. He proved that talent, when combined with discipline, is unstoppable. He became the highest-paid actor in Hollywood. At one point, earning over $75 million a year. But he stayed humble. He used his platform to support mental health and addiction recovery. He funded rehab programs for others. His love story with Susan became legendary. She stood by him when the world turned away. Together, they built a family, a legacy, a future. In 2019, Avengers: Endgame released. Robert's final performance as Tony Stark broke hearts across the globe. "I am Iron Man," a line that echoed far beyond the screen. It wasn't just the end of a character. It was the end of a journey, a full-circle moment. From a boy with a troubled past, to a man who saved the world, both on screen and in real life. Downey once said, "Worrying is like praying for something you don't want." That's the wisdom of a man who's seen the bottom and climbed back up. Today, Robert Downey Jr. isn't just a movie star. He's a blueprint for comebacks. He's proof that recovery is possible. That no matter how far you fall, there's always a way back. He now focuses on philanthropy, sustainability, and storytelling. He created the Footprint Coalition, a company that uses tech to fight climate change. He continues to act, but he's more than an actor. He's a father, a husband, a survivor. His story reminds us, it's never too late to rewrite your script. You don't have to be perfect to make an impact. You just have to keep moving forward. So when the world tells you it's over, when the odds are stacked against you, when your past keeps pulling you down, think of Robert Downey Jr. because his life is proof that the best chapters sometimes come after the worst ones.